Hello, beautiful souls. It's time for me to share more. I'm ready to show you more of my layers of who I am. Let's begin with a prayer. I am all that I am. I am the Alpha. I am the Omega. I am the beginning without end. I am the point of all awareness. I am the fabric of the unfolding. I am the fire of consciousness. I am the air of inspiration. I am the water of creation. I am the earth in manifestation. I am the source. I am the mirror. I am the layers of the unfolding. I am the dimensions of all of creation. I am the light in the heavens. I am the life on this earth and other places. I am limitless in my potential. I am God with a capital G. I am all that I am. And I am open to ascension. We are all a part of God. We are all God with capital G. And I know that there are many who feel that that's wrong to say. But that's very contradictory to your doctrines and your religions that say that God created man from his own image, his own spark, his own life force. We are creators, just like God. I would like to introduce you to the elements. I would like to introduce you to some of my knowledge, my wisdom, and my channeling. Not for you to think higher of me, but for you to think higher of you. I am mortal flesh. I bleed. I cry. I laugh. I need. I want. Just like all the rest of you. The thing that sets me apart is that I know what we can control, and I control it. I create it. I manifest it. And you can too. I want to explain to you, if you'll give me the time, what magic really is. Think for a moment and just listen. A figure moves between tangled trunks, seeking the clearing. Soon, the ancient oaks part to reveal a stream. The woman kneels on the stream's grassy bank and places her hands onto the ground. The steady pulse of the earth's energy comforts her. And you know, many natives, indigenous people, and even pioneers of the Western world, they all put their ear or their hands to the ground to listen for the herds, listen for a train, listen for the enemy approaching, because the vibrations are there. You've merely forgotten to be in tune with the elements around you, the true magic of this wondrous planet. She gathers single strands of emerald-hued grass, thanking the plants for their sacrifice. When she's collected 13 strands, she holds them between her palms and is still for just a moment. She closes her eyes. Her lips move. The wind tugs at the woman's sleeve as her face tenses. Internal forces make her shoulders tremble. Rising to her feet, the woman tosses the grass into the air, sending the energy that she's raised with it. The grass catches the breeze and sails over across the stream. It lands on the far bank, and the woman senses its power flashing into the ground, putting her energy into motion. It's over. She lies on the bank, feeling the sun heating her, the breeze cooling her, and the earth nurturing and supporting her. The trickle of the water from the nearby stream lulls her into peaceful reverie as she recalls her simple actions and the power that they have aroused. She gave silent thanks. Rising from the stream bank, the woman again walks through the trees and returns home from the park. The sun has stained the western horizon a very vivid red by the time she greets her cat, grabs a book, and reads by the fire, satisfied that her healing spell has been successful. The description of a magic ritual might seem strange, but it's the type of magic that lives within this instruction. Gentle, loving, healing magic. No curses lurk within these lessons. No rituals of hateful hatreds or jealousy or envy. There is no ugliness in doing magic unless you will it to be so. If this is surprising to you, I'm glad that I'll be your guide into the true realms of magic. For this is real magic, forged with natural energies, charged with love, and sent with the knowledge that positive change will occur. Magic is as natural as the earth, water, fire, and air. Yes, even as natural as a blade of grass. Within its simple rites, many have found answers to life's multitudes of challenges. Natural magic is the practice of using the forces of nature coupled with the power of our mind and our body that's God-given. It's always been a part of the human experience until modern days. You could call it a lost trade or a lost art or a lost belief system or a lost wisdom. But it still lives in the midst of the endless prairie, beside a cypress-ringed bayou, in the sizzling desert, within the shadow of skyscrapers. Natural magicians work with earth energy to transform themselves and their lives. This is a guide to practical, positive, natural, God-given magic. Anyone can use these or similar rituals to bring harmony and wellness into their lives. Abundance in all ways are possible. In practicing natural magic, we attune ourselves again with the earth. Far from being a lofty spiritual pursuit, magic is a means of joining with the earth and of using our powers in common to create a brighter future for both ourselves and our planet. Walk lightly, breathe deeply, harm none, and discover the wonders that magic really has to offer. And if this is your first trip into the forested world of magic, the way may seem strange indeed. You'll be faced with unfamiliar terms and unfamiliar ideas. I want you to use this as your map through this powerful terrain. Replay these messages as much as you need to. Here, I will provide you with the inner tools necessary for effective magical working. First, I want to talk to you about energy. Many people think that magic involves marking cryptic signs, uttering incomprehensible words, walking backward around cracked stones, and other unusual practices and actions. They believe that such things are the beginning and the end of magic. In fact, such actions are the least important part of magic. They're meaningless unless they assist the magician in contacting energy in its many forms. You can use any tools, any props, any rituals or practices that you feel that you need internally. None of them are the wrong answer. And honestly, none of them are really necessary unless you need it. I tell people often, I use the tarot cards as tools. I use the dowsing rods and the runes as tools. I use my crystals and my tuning forks as tools. They were all very great practice for me to learn that the power was within me the whole time. I just felt that I needed it in order to succeed in my endeavors. So it's perfectly fine, it's perfectly okay if you do need them, because they are your necessity, your tool, your ladder. And it's perfectly fine if you don't need them, because each of us are different. And each of us have our own way of learning. And each of us have our own way of making things happen. We all have the same gifts, just some are more strong and prominent in certain areas than others. It doesn't negate. No one is better than the other or lesser than. And it's very simple to learn how to use the elements to find your magic within you and use it for your highest good. It's why you were given these beautiful gifts. Magic can indeed be performed by a person without movement, without touching physical tools, and without uttering a single word of power. As I said though, for some it is necessary. For some it makes their magic feel more potent. It helps us to utilize and tap in to the power within our mind and our body. Although the energy that is used in magic stems from one universal source, there are various manifestations of it. Additionally, magical energy also exists in non-physical forms. Indeed, this is the power used in religious rituals. The two types of energy used in natural magic are explained. The first is personal power, and I'll go into detail with it. And then the second is the earth power, and then I'll explain that. So let's start at the beginning. You're already familiar with this source of magic, this magical power that we call personal power. Even if you don't realize it, you've felt it when you've run up a flight of stairs or watched an effective horror movie, grown angry at someone, or felt completely submerged in love. This is your personal power, the energy that stems from our physical body that we call emotion. When we're in good health, our bodies are capable of producing tremendous amounts of this energy. As any athlete who's pushed past seemingly human limits would completely understand, this energy derives from the earth, from our bodies transforming the food, from sunlight, fresh air, and water, which are all available power that we consume. Normally, we use this energy to maintain good health and for such daily activities as exercise, work, sleep, study, thought, sex, among many other things. In magic, we transform some of this energy for other purposes. Personal power is raised through tightening the muscles, focused with a goal through visualization, and released to bring that goal into a manifestation. It's a simple process, and it's called alchemy. It isn't much different than focusing your attention towards studying all night long, or running a marathon, or finishing a work of art, or writing a poem. The intent, if not the process, is the same. We direct energy toward completing a project. In magic, however, we consciously release the energy so that it can speed away to create the changes that are needed. The method for doing this will be discussed in a moment. Personal power is usually released from the body through a projected hand, also known as a power hand. Typically, it's the hand you write with, but not always the case. I want you to please note that the amount of energy released from the body during magic isn't so great that it will harm your health either. A lot of healers have this burden of thought that when they remove something from someone else, they have to consume it themselves, take it within their body, or at least residual effects of it. But that's actually not true. You don't have to take it on at all. I heal people all the time. I remove tumors, heal broken bones, all sorts of things. And I'm not taking on their illnesses. I'm not taking on their pain. I feel it because I'm an empath, but I don't let it come through me. I take it straight out of them and give it back to the earth. I recycle it without it ever harming me. I wish that I would have been alive when Edgar Casey was, because I think I could have taught him how to preserve his health in being a channeler. It greatly reduced his life force energy due to his own thoughts. I too channel an automatic write and many other things, and it does not affect my life force energy. If anything, it amplifies it, because I'm thinking the opposite of what most people think. I'm not seeing it as draining me. I'm seeing it as charging me, like I'm a crystal. Let's carry on. Earth power. The second source of magical energy springs from the earth itself. Yes, the earth is alive. The Schumann resonance proves it every day. It has a heartbeat. It has a vibration. And our bodies, we work in concert with it. If the earth's vibration or harmonics change, our bodies change too. Those of us who've admired a stand of trees, a field of wildflowers, a calm lake, or a cave have already felt something of the energy that it exists within the earth. What some would call magicians sense even greater amounts of energy within natural objects and choose them according to their form to act as magical batteries during their rituals. This is why many times psychics, mediums, healers choose crystals, because crystals have a very amplified amount of energy and a very, very beautiful vibration. And you can literally hold them in your hand and feel their vibration if you're in tune with Earth's life. In natural magic, we join our personal power with earth power. This is done through certain rituals designed to create our needed changes. The type of change determines the form of earth power that is used. We observe earth power and all types of energy that don't originate from within our body through our receptive hand, our power hand. For most of us, I actually told you that wrong. That for most of us, the absorbed energy will come through our left hand. The energy we're putting out for healing and using the magic will come from the power hand, the right hand. Typically, the hand you absorb with is the left. Earth power is divided into 4 main compartments or divisions: earth, air, fire, and water. These are what we call the elements. Now, you need to have a need or a goal in order to do magic. No magic is performed without a need. This can literally be anything from losing weight or finding a love to passing a test or paying old bills. The need must be an all-consuming passion, not a fanciful wish, because the true key component is your emotion. And if you can't conjure the right kind of emotion that is necessary, then you can't will it into manifestation. The need shouldn't be impossible to achieve, is my point. Performing rituals designed to make you fly in your physical body without some sort of aircraft, or marry a famous movie star that you've never met, or win the lottery when millions of others are attempting to do the same thing will only bring you disappointment. Magic is not to be disrespected and played with as a toy or a child's game. It is for true needs. So keep your needs simple and attainable. And if you do, you will be blessed with success. You have to learn to visualize. This is a very important part of every aspect of your life, regardless of what you're trying to create, but particularly in spells, in spell work. Visualizing is a natural process in which we are able to create the images within our mind. In magic, we create images of the need and banish all images of the problem. You can't focus on the problem and get the outcome that you want. So see yourself as healthy and prosperous, not as being sick or poor. Our ability to visualize is one of the most important tools of all of creation, whether you're a carpenter, a painter, or simply doing earth magic for your own life. We're able to create, to see the future in our mind. Creating images in the mind during magic gives the power that we've raised a purpose and direction for. To practice visualizing, think of your mind as a television screen. Tune in a picture of yourself. Look in the mirror or at a photograph of yourself if you need to refresh your memory. Then see yourself in your mind, in your third eye. Once you've successfully seen yourself on the picture tube that's between your ears, see your best friend's face, or your cat, or your dog, or your birds. See your favorite politician, or a perfect red apple. Just really see things. Make them real, make them in color, and make them three-dimensional in your mind's eye. The next step is an expansion of the last. See yourself, but see yourself as driving a car, or living in a new apartment, passing that test, or getting a fulfilling job or a raise. This is what you'll be doing during your rituals and your spells, visualizing your needed change as if it has already happened. In order to feel the emotions that are necessary to make the spell work, you have to be able to visualize it in your mind's eye. And I'll just add real quick, if you do need help with visualization, I do offer simple, very inexpensive courses to help you get up to speed on whatever aspect you need help with. Visualization is the steering wheel of magic. It ensures the energy goes to the proper place. But for many of us, we have difficulty with this process. So this is why we have symbols, photographs, drawings, and other tools that are often used in natural magic to focus our concentration. These tools by themselves have little power, but used as a focal point of concentration, they can allow us to imprint the necessary energy that is needed and to eventually steer the power to its destination. Now, for the spell. A lot of people are nervous about that word, but we spellcast every day. When I speak, I'm spelling. When I write, I'm spelling. When I think, I'm spelling. It's all a spellcast. Every bit of it. You just don't realize you're doing it. Now, this particular type of spell that I'm referring to is actually a magical ritual. It's usually non-religious in nature and often involves the use of symbols or symbolic actions in works. It's a specific series of movements or use of tools and inner processes, such as the visualization, to create a specific manifestation. A spell is a spell is a spell. Old spells are no more effective than new spells. My words are no more effective than yours. But to manifest your need, the spell must be designed to do three things. Raise your personal power, and in natural magic, to unite with the earth power. Program this energy through the visualizations and the ability to release the energy and allow it to manifest. Some people simply can't come up with their own words, and if you need assistance with the wording for your spells to make your magic, I'm glad to help you with that. It seems like there might be some spells on my blog on the website already. But I can certainly help you with that. Any area that you would need a spell for, I can help you come up with the words for it. But each is designed to accomplish those three things, regardless of whose words they are or how old or new they are. The key here is that they need the magician's help. A spell is truly magical only in the hands of a true magician. What's that mean? Zero doubt. Walk in faith. Walk in complete faith. Now, charging is an aspect of natural magic. It's a process of sending personal power into a specific object or place, such as a tub of water, a candle, a leaf, a crystal. To charge something, you hold it up in your projective hand. Visualize your need. Raise your personal power through tightening those muscles until you tremble, and push the energy out of your body through your projective hand and into that object you hold. It's that simple. Then there's the magical voice. In reciting magical rhymes and words of power, use your strongest, surest voice. Speaking softly lessens the effectiveness of the words and of your emotion. They go hand in hand. The words are there to affect you, not some foreign entity or deity. Say them with as much force as you possibly can. Naturally, there will be times when you'll have to whisper the words. Maybe others are sleeping. When this is the case, put as much emotion into them as you possibly can. The effect will then be the same. Don't worry about perfect wording. A skipped word won't harm the effectiveness of your spell. You don't have to start it all over again. But if you feel that your concentration is faltering and your visualization is fading after struggling or stumbling over some syllable or two, it's probably best to stop, back it up, and say the words again. Some spells don't even require words. In fact, visualizing is far more important in natural magic than words ever could be. The words are meant to strengthen your personal power. The words are meant for you to fine-tune your visualization and connect to your energy. Words are the vehicle that leads you to your destination, not the destination itself. So, how would you go about preparing for a ritual? There's a multitude of checklists that you could write or find online. But I think the basics for doing rituals at home are pretty simple. There's a lot of rituals that can be done elsewhere, like at the beach or the park or in the woods, etc. And indeed, they are more effective if you can be outside. But they will work almost as well doing them within your home, provided you have earthly items in your home, right? Just surround you with. So the first thing you want to make sure of in preparing is just simply ensuring that you're not going to be disturbed during your spell. This may mean closing and locking a door, or closing your drapes, turning off the phone, informing those that you live with that you can't be disturbed right now. You know, simple procedures just to make sure you won't be interrupted. The point of not being interrupted is really all about your focal point, your concentration, your visualizing, you're being able to project the energy properly. You don't want to have to worry about someone walking in when you're doing your ritual, because then your focus is lost, the energy changes. So if necessary, practice your rituals late at night, or at least as soon as everyone has gone to sleep. The second thing is to physically prepare yourself for the rite. So take a bath or shower and be in clean, preferably cotton clothing, as natural as it can be. Try not to wear synthetic fabrics, because that causes static electricity, which can alter your own body's energy field. Robes are not necessary. Cloaks are not necessary. These are silly things that, well, I won't say silly things, but because some people like to wear the robes and the cloaks, and that's perfectly fine if that's what helps them to embody their power. But I say it's a silly thing because it's kind of become the misnomer of doing any kind of spell work. It leans toward the whole you're a witch or you're Wiccan and the labels and stuff like that. And I am neither a witch or a Wiccan. I was raised Southern Baptist and raised with mountain people who were healers. They were all very much God-fearing people and gave all of their abilities to heal. The praise and glory went to God for it, our Creator. And again, I'm not knocking witches or Wiccans. I feel like it's been taken far too much out of context with the stereotypes and the people who relate more to those lifestyles, because really at their core they're just pagan. They're just like nature worshipers, and we don't need to put the labels of division on people, is really my big issue with all of it. They're negative in lots of aspects from lots of perspectives. Anyway, so prepare yourself physically, preferably in cotton clothing. Definitely be clean. taking a shower helps you to wash away the day's negativity and be ready to do a ritual, a spell or anything, anything that you're wanting to do to manifest. Okay. Number 3 would be to ensure that your need is a true need and a practical one. So, though you should have done this before, it's never too late to decide to use some other ritual. Some magicians perform an act of divination before performing any type of magic to discover the true nature of the problem and its solutions. Since you'll be working with most spells for yourself, this probably won't be necessary. But they certainly are a great tool when you're helping others. And for me, in you learning this, ultimately the goal is that you learn it for yourself so that you can bring yourself your highest good and joy of abundance in all forms. But then also to pass it forward, pay it forward to others. And until they can learn to embody their own power, do it for them, Number 4 is just breath. Breathe deeply for a few minutes before you begin any type of ritual. This helps to still the mind, prepare the body, and allow you to begin concentrating on your need and collecting your energy at a proper level. So then when you are performing a ritual, you'll of course gather any necessary tools, which will typically be soil or a plant, a dish of water, a candle, a rock of your choice. If you don't have a rock, you can use a leaf or a nut. All kinds of things, can be substituted. Just be creative as you want to be. And then I want you to sit comfortably for a few moments and just breathe deeply and concentrate on the change that you're about to make. Banish all the thoughts of the problem and think of its solution and have zero doubt. Visualize as you begin to work with the tools and charge your tools if necessary. Say the words or the chant, if there is any. Practice it. Build your power within your body by tensing your muscles until you tremble. Tense them up. Tense them up. That'll help garner your energy. Okay? This is also how you do sigil magic if you're interested in doing symbolism type magic, which is what King Solomon did. That was one of his most favorite ways of magic, was to do sigils. So build up your power within your body by tensing your muscles. Draw energy from the natural tools that you've selected to use. Do this by holding them in your receptive hand, the left hand. Grasp them, hold them, touch them. When the power feels like it's at its peak and you feel yourself trembling from trying to keep it in, that's when you release it. That's when you push the power from your body through your projective hand. And by relaxing your body's muscles, you may send it into the candle, a stone, a fire, a glass of water, or any other object. Will it and sense the energy leaving you and doing its work. Repeat the spell until you feel it has taken effect. So some may say, why risk it? I'm referring, of course, to working evil magic. There are few rules in magic, and these are very simple and very easy to follow. Don't practice magic to annoy, irritate, harm, hurt, or kill another person. Don't practice magic that will bind, influence, manipulate, or control another person. except for protection. Binding is okay for protecting you from them. Don't practice magic to try to win the love of a specific person. Don't practice magic to try to win sexual favors of another person. Don't sell your magical spells. Don't practice magic simply to satisfy your ego. And don't practice magic of any kind for any person without his or her consent, even if it would be beneficial. The only time I feel like this is completely okay to do, and I won't even say completely okay, I'll just say it's okay to do, is if they are unconscious and cannot say it for themselves, but have, prior to being unconscious or unaware of what's happening to them in the moment, you had spoken of it and they had said, hey, if you're ever here and something goes down and I can't do it myself, please help me. Okay? That's the only time I feel like you should do that. Otherwise, you can get into some walk-ins, walk-outs, pet cemetery kind of stuff. I don't want to scare you, but it's dangerous to do things, without people's blessing. So these aren't just my guidelines. They've been developed and experienced by the Magi, the shaman, the indigenous peoples for thousands of years. They're based on the idea that magic is a wonderful tool to use for positive, personal transformation. Its misuse in any of the methods described above turns it into an instrument of evil. Magic is what you make of it. Additionally, magic influences you. If you practice magic to control another person, someone else will control you. If you practice magic to harm another person, someone else will harm you. If you practice magic to satisfy your ego, something will come along to crush it. This is always going to be the case. This is the law of karma. Concentrating on these types of energies will build them within yourself. Soon you'll be the victim of your own spells. I've said all that I possibly could about the dangers of magic and why risking it. But magic for others, if you've obtained permission from the person in question, it's fine to perform magic for others. This may sound ridiculous to some of you, but it's based on a simple concept. First, working magic for another person, even if it's a close friend, and the magic is beneficial, is still manipulation, period. So doing this without their consent is indeed an act of magical sabotage. Then again, it's best to ask friends if they even want the effects of the spell. Many times we don't understand our friends' lives, and we may misinterpret their words and their actions. Performing a spell to fix an imaginary condition is a waste of our time and our energy also. It's far better to talk to the person, to gain an insight into the situation and to get their blessing before dragging out any candles or herbs. Magic is usually a tool of self-transformation. We use it to improve our own life personally. And the reason that doesn't get used for the majority of the time is because we've always been taught to be in service to others. So if we do something that's in service to self, It makes us feel guilty and selfish and egotistical. But when you're doing things to bring the highest good, highest health, and highest joy in your own life, that's called true self-love. That's healthy for you. Our society doesn't teach us how to be that healthy, that kind of healthy. But I am. I want to talk a minute about the magical life. There's, a compilation of spells, magical rites that are linked to the world all around us. You can find them online, in books, everywhere. In performing these and similar works of magic, many people become aware of a new dimension. And that's what I want you to see. Instead of seeing their lives as an endless series of tests and disappointments and failures, they now view their life as joyous celebration and union with other humans, animals, the earth itself, and with that which we all create, and the Creator himself. Natural magic does all of that. It opens us up to new experiences, new perspectives, and allows us to see what's always been under our nose the whole time. A full moon still... I don't know why I can't talk today. Mercury retrograde is over. A new moon that creates a silvering line around the cloud. The gentle push and pull of the tides, the dazzling symmetry of a sunflower bursting with seeds, the caress of the wind. With this expanded vision, many magicians realize that magic has always been at work in their lives, and that it's our common heritage as human beings to utilize it. This realization, combined with continuing magical activities, convinces us that life itself is a magical process. So then we begin to lead magical lives, as I think we all should. A magical life isn't one that is spent solely on spellcasting either, or collection of herbs, or chanting. It's one in which the subtle but very real energies of the earth are sensed with wonder and childlike delight, in which we feel the cycles of nature transforming us, in which we as human beings respect the unknowable forces that shape our world and give us life. We continue to work our jobs, take care of our loved ones, and pay our bills. But we also see the magic blossoming in a smile. We feel the earth's thanks as we plant trees, and we hear the wind singing while the sun plunges below the western horizon. And as my beautiful 7-year-old will tell you, every time she sees what we would call like a dirt devil of wind or a small whirlwind of leaves going across the yard, Mommy, the wind wants us to go and dance with it. See the magic in life. See the magic in nature. And see the magic within you. It's always been there. When you were a child, you knew it just as well as my 7-year-old does. The magical life is easily attained. It's certainly worth achieving. For in this heightened existence, problems become solutions, doubt becomes hope, faith becomes your blessing, and life itself is transformed into a positive, happier, so much more fulfilling experience. If magicians gain nothing else from magic, their efforts have been worthwhile at simply enjoying being. Natural magic is unique among most other branches of the art. The practitioners needn't spend years collecting or fashioning intricately crafted swords, robes, or even wands. Indeed, the most important tools of natural magic are completely free. They are the sky, the earth beneath your feet, the beaches, the streams, the rivers, the desert, the forests, the woods, the prairie. A few physical tools and supplies are, however, necessary for the practicing of this art, but most are easily obtainable and cost very little, if anything. Some such tools could be candles or mirrors. And perhaps in another video segment, we will discuss these in greater length. There's really no special preparation ritual that's necessary before you use any of these items either. I just want to add that. Perhaps you're going to need a knife of some kind to cut the herbs, or snip some yarn, or etch symbols onto a candle. It can be any type of knife, but traditionally it has a white handle. I have an athame. Some people call it an athame. I call it an athame. Mine has a white handle. Just because I like traditional things. It doesn't have to be white. So just keep that kind of stuff in mind. The details don't always matter so much. Small bowls. You're going to need at least 2 or 3 small bowls to hold water, herbs, or other magical items. Various spells. You're also going to maybe need a larger bowl or a plate or some other type of common dish. But, all those things are readily available in your kitchen. You may need a small pair of scissors for cutting paper. You'll need candle holders, your choice of glass, crystal, or metal. Glass bottles with lids for storing your herbs, as well as to fill with various objects during rituals. Speaking of the herbs, the main herbs you're going to use are going to be things like clove, rosemary, sage, dried or fresh rose petals, basil, cinnamon, thyme. Again, all things that are readily found within your kitchen or right outside your door. Some rituals even just simply call for leaves or any type of flowers. So, any type can be used and substituted. The herbs that I mentioned are, again, all easily available. But I just want to emphasize that let's say you're doing a spell that you think you're going to need clove for, and you don't have clove. Okay, substitute it with nutmeg or cinnamon or allspice. Allspice has clove in it. So use your imagination, use your creativity, trust your intuition, and just substitute when necessary. You're also going to need candles and stones. I like to keep the entire rainbow of candles: red, pink, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, white, black, and brown. But it's not necessary. If you're doing a spell that calls for a green candle and you don't have a green candle, use a white candle and put some symbols on it in a green marker if that makes you feel better. But the white candle alone will do. Stones can be anything from a pebble you found on the beach or by the river to one that came from within the earth itself. Some spells are going to call for specific types of stones. But again, if you don't have that specific stone and you can't find it easily or afford to purchase it, a lot of times crystals, like these big Himalayan salt crystals, can be quite pricey, and you can just substitute something else. Don't let those kind of things make you feel blocked and stopped. Cloth is needed for many spells, so choose cotton, or if nothing else is available, felt is also very good. And again, I like to keep a rainbow of colors, because color has energy, it has power. You're also going to need thread or yarn for tying and binding the cloth or candles. Cotton thread, hemp thread, wool yarn, what's it called? Twine, binding twine, like farmers would use, made all natural, perfectly fine to use. Anything made from natural materials. You just don't want to use synthetics. Matches, of course, to light your candles instead of using a lighter, are preferred, but don't have to be, don't have to be. Paper, simple white paper, or various shades of color, depending on you again, and how much you feel like you need the color. Some type of small iron pot or a cauldron for burning things or to contain a fire. Spittoons also will work quite nicely. Additionally, or any kind of large metal bowl or pan for that matter. Additionally, if you have some type of another small metal cup to contain your used matches in, that's a great thing, so that you're not laying the matches down that are hot. We always want to think about safety. So other things that you could possibly need for various rituals would be things like sand, clay, soil, wind chimes, round or square mirrors, ice cubes, snow, leaves, sticks. And again, most of these things are going to be, readily available within the season, of course. So the very last tool of your magic is your place of magic. So this is sometimes called an altar, though it's really not a correct term unless you're performing religious magic. The place of magic is a powerful spot where we unite energies and work magical change. It can be anywhere. It can be in a secluded forest clearing, the ground beneath your favorite tree, next to a cactus, on the beach, a secret cave, your own private room in your home, your front porch, your back porch. Usually your place of magic is going to be somewhere within your home, or at least close to your home, readily available to you. It could even just simply be a small corner in your bedroom. For some, it's their bathroom, because that's the only place they can go for privacy. But it's best to pick your favorite magical place and use it more often than not for your magical practices. Indoor rituals usually require a table or some other type of flat surface. The top of a dresser will do just fine, or a bedside table, a fold-out table, the tray kind TV table. That is, of course, where you're going to set your candles that will be burned, or your sand that needs charged, or symbols that need sketched for your ritual, etc. So, though many of your spells will probably be performed outdoors, having a single place inside the home to do rituals, even again if it's your bathroom or beside your bed, will increase the effectiveness of your magic. The most powerful tools of natural magic are yourself. Lakes, deserts, mountains, beaches, forests, and other power generators. Outdoor rituals always require fewer tools. These are some of the tools of magic. I wish for you to use them with love, respect, and wisdom. In the next video episode, we will be discussing the elements themselves and how to use each one. Until then, I hope that you have found this video lesson to be enlightening and enriching and exciting and empowering for you to learn truly more about yourself and the world around you. May you all live magical lives and create your own magic. I'll be back soon to channel more messages through spirit, from spirit to you. I love you. I will see you soon. Until then, many blessings of love and light.